Hello, can everybody hear me? Just put a thumbs up or a wave. Thank you. Great. Thanks for joining me. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. Just let a few people join. So just while we're waiting, if you could use the chat and just put your answer to this question. What one thing made you want to do this course? What one thing made you want to do this course? Just pop it down in the chat. Quality improvement is my jam. Thanks, Mary Lee. Want to be part of better quality hospital. Magda says, improve patient care, learn about QI. Co-rural Mind project, wanting to run it in the best possible way. Thanks, Catherine. Always looking to improve. Jill's got a new role in quality improvement. Improving patient care processes. That's great. Thanks for sharing all that, you guys. Keep them coming. So I'll tell you my improvement story, just so you're a bit more aware of me and why I'm doing this. So I'm a colorectal surgeon. My name is James, and I believe that quality improvement is the single biggest thing we can do as healthcare professionals for the thousands of patients that we're responsible for. So let me tell you my story. So 12 years ago, one of my patients nearly died. And since then, I've not been the same. So I was a trainee vascular reg, and an old lady came in with acute leg ischemia, and she had a thrombectomy and was on IV heparin afterwards. The next morning I came in and her blood pressure was low. She was tachycardic, she was drowsy, low urine output. So she was shocked. And the CT showed a large retroperitoneal hematoma, and it turned out that nobody had checked the APTT overnight in the IV heparin, and she was well over anticoagulated. So she was trying to die. She had a rapid transfusion and resuscitation. She didn't need cardiac massage, but she was pretty sick. Interventional radiology, and then went to ICU. She did recover after that, but it was a completely avoidable situation. And I had a choice at that time. I could just put it down to a simple mistake, like people were too busy. That's usually the reason, or it could be incompetence and blame the night house officer for not doing their job. Or I could actually just go speak to those people involved and find out a little bit more, a bit of a root cause analysis, so to speak. And then I realized that there were so many more factors that contributed. And without going into detail of what all those factors were, I realized that the problem was going to happen again sometime in the future. Even if I just went and spoke to that house officer and told them what happened, or the ward staff and told them, you know, you must check the APTT, that wasn't going to make it all better. And then a few months later, just by chance, I got an email from my training body saying, there's this new free course. And because it's the first time they're running it, we're waiving the fee, and you can sign up. And I said, okay, I'll sign up for that because I'm Scottish and I don't pass anything free. It turned out it was a course from the Open University about quality improvement. I knew nothing about it. I didn't even know what it was about, but it sounded like it was a good thing. And I've never looked back after going through that. It's how you change things in healthcare and making a lasting difference for patients, not just the ones in front of you. So yeah, that was my lights on moment. And I think as a result of that, I really believe that we should invest in doing quality improvement. I wish it was built into our FTE and everybody had to contribute to quality improvement projects. We're a long way off that, but this is our starting point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you all into little breakout rooms for just 5 minutes. And I want you to share with each other, just what quality improvement means to you, okay? So let me just set up those breakout rooms. Okay, you're all disappearing into the breakout rooms. Hi, Rennie joining late. I'm just going to pop you into breakout room. We'll be coming back into the main room in a couple of minutes time.
Yeah. Oh, hi, James. You're listening into us. We're all keen and eager to learn. I was just saying, James, I was enrolled in this last year, but then I went into
Yes,
comment and I couldn't keep up.
that's
So, but I'm
okay.
back. I'm
That's
back.
good.
Start again.
No, that's good. Thanks. Just checking you guys are good, doing okay. We'll be another minute or two, okay?
Yeah,
All right,
that's fine.
all good.
Wait, were we supposed to wait to be called back, James, or do we just jump back? I think James said that. No, we did the right thing. You're on mute, James.
Yeah, no, everybody's filtering in now. The breakout rooms are closing. Just another few seconds and then everybody will be back in here. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So I hope that was useful just to meet a few of your co-learners. It's always good to have a bit of accountability when you're learning because it's so easy for it to drop off the priority list because it doesn't give you instant benefits, you know, learning a new skill. And so that's why as human beings, we deprioritize it. So there are certain things that you can do to improve your chances of success at getting the most out of this course. And one thing is just a plan. Is just to plan exactly when you're going to do this. So put a block of time in your diary sometime to actually do it. And you might even want to say, okay, the first half an hour is simply going to be me just working out how all the platforms and logging in and all that stuff, and don't even give yourself the goal of starting the learning on the first sort of half an hour, so that you feel that you're not on the back foot already. So yeah, I would thoroughly recommend that you find time in your diary and actually put something in there. And it's, you know, everybody's got probably schedules that move all over the place, so you can't just put a regular one in there. So you're going to have to maybe move it around. But what you can do is you can, if you're using an electronic diary, is put a recurring one in there for either every Monday or even every morning, whatever you want, and then move those appointments around in your diary to the free space that you're actually going to do it for that day, so that you always keep being reminded that this is something that you're trying to do. So that's probably the one thing, because if you plan to succeed, then if you succeed to plan, then you'll plan to succeed. So that's that. So I'm now going to just show you the course details, etc. And I'm hoping this share is going to work. So let me just share my screen. Share. So you now should be able to see the Improvement Academy homepage. Just give me a wave or a thumbs up if you can see that. Great. So this is where you would probably have joined up. And in the emails that are sent to you, you've got a link to the course details, but you can also get to that via the SharePoint page just up here. And this is exactly all the instructions on how to get through the course. So I'm just going to show you a little bit. So that's the link for enrollment. But you don't need that anymore, but certainly any colleagues, they could enroll. This is the first thing you need to do, is set up your IHI account. Okay, so this is on the Institute for Healthcare Improvement website. It's an external website. There are two types of subscriptions based on what you told me. Most people are on a professional account because they're not one of these people. And then the people who are either a student, an intern, an RMO, teacher, professor, or dean at the university, and you declared that, then you have to put that down as your primary role so that you get the correct access. Basically, the IHI give it away a lot cheaper to these people. But we've paid for both types of access. So you get an access code and you have to enter that in. So I'm just going to go onto the educational platform. And here you will get your login page. If you already got a username on the website, use that. But if you don't, then you have to click account down here. And this is where you can then get tripped up. You've got to enter in something into all the boxes. Okay, your email's got to be correct, or else you're not going to get the email replies. So make sure you put that in carefully. And I also would like you to use the same email that you used to sign up for this course, so that I can then match you and see your progress. So there's a lot of connection that happens in the background, but if you use a different email, then I don't know.
Sorry, we're in a meeting at the moment, Sharon, sorry.
Address is the next tricky thing to put in. First of all, make sure the country is New Zealand, and then you can put in the correct address for the hospital. Again, it wants it, which is a bit annoying. But anyway, just put it in. But if you don't change it from the United States, then it's difficult to fill it in. And then a password, obviously, and then say that you're not a robot. On the next page, on the demographic information, is where you declare your type, whether you're one of these or whether you're just a doctor, a nurse, or something else like that. So that's where you put in that details. And then you get access. So now I'll go back into my account so you can actually see what the platform looks like. So you're always presented with this page here. And the way it works is that it has a catalog of modules, that about 40 different modules that you can do. But the course itself only requires 13 specific modules. Okay, you have to add those modules to your learning center before you can then do the learning and complete them. So what are the modules? It's listed in the course details here. So these are the 13 different modules, and I've put them in an order that might make sense for you if you're following the also the classroom sessions, but you really can do it in any order you want. They are quite self-sufficient modules. It's probably best to start with the introduction, though, to give you a nice sort of overview of the topic. So to find the modules, once you're logged into this platform, you can actually click on these links and it will take you straight to the module like this. And then you can click on the enroll button to add it to your learning center. Okay, so that's one way, probably the easiest way to get all the modules. The other way to find the modules, say you don't have access to those clicky links or something, is you go browse catalog. And you wait for a bit. And oh, incidentally, this is where you would enter in your access code. So without the access code, we can't, you won't get the access to all the modules. You get access to some of them, but not all of them. And also, if you don't enter in the access code, then the data doesn't come to me and I can't give you progress reports. So you can browse to find the open school courses. So you click that one, you click this one in English, and then basic certificate curriculum is what you want. And that should end up with 13 modules. So these are all, so then you can click enroll on each of them. You click more results to get all the list, basically. And it's a good idea to enroll in all 13 modules straight up before you start any learning, because then you've got a list of modules to do and you can just work down that list. So that's what I would advise, is that you enroll them all. The other really important reason why you enroll all at the beginning is because then your access to those modules that you've enrolled in does not expire. The access code that you've entered in here expires in a year's time, which means that you can't add new modules to your learning center, but anything that's already in your learning center will be available until whenever you want to finish them, regardless of the expiry date. So you enroll in these. So I click that, for example, and it also shows you then it's dumped it in the learning center for you. So eventually you'll have 13 learning items enrolled in here, and then you launch each one as you go along, and do the modules as you go along. So that's the first main trip hazard. Then the next trip hazard is in the modules themselves. So in the modules themselves, there are some questions and quizzes. And there's a survey at the end. So let me find where there's some quizzes, for example. Skip along to the end. Here we go. Here we go. So you see there's little pencils that those show you where there are some little quizzes. You need to do these in order to pass the modules. You need to do every single answer. And if your module is showing like 97% complete and you don't know which one you've missed by accident, then the quickest way, although it sounds like a hassle, the quickest way to sort it out is to simply go in and click on all the pencils and do it again quickly. I've tried different ways to find that last 3%, and it's impossible. So be careful the first time. If it's stuck at 97%, go through it again and it should work. And also with the post-course survey, make sure you do that one as well. So those are the main trip hazards in getting around the platform, which is a bit finicky, but once you're up and running with it, then it should be fine and plain sailing from there on. So that's the online modules. All the instructions as to access the modules are written in there if you forget what I'm telling you now. And then we have classroom sessions, which are every month except July. And it'll be this sort of time. It'll be Friday, last Friday of the month at 12 o'clock. You'll get an email invite about a week before. And you can see the different topics. These classroom sessions are optional, but they're really great because, you know, learning online is a pretty lonely thing if you're only doing it by yourself. And what you need is the community and the interaction to really actually make the topic come alive and to make it interesting. So these are a great place to actually do that. The content covered is exactly the same as the content in the modules, but it's just additional sort of ways of looking at it. So it's not exactly the same content, but it's the same curriculum. And yeah, it's for an hour every, I was saying 12:30, I'll change that, it's supposed to be 12 o'clock. So you can actually add these in advance to your diary. If you don't want to wait for the weekly email, you can just add them by adding to the calendar of this website. So that can be quite useful. So going back to the, so that's the classroom sessions. If you don't make it to a classroom session, then it will be on YouTube in the next few days after the recording is done. Okay, so you can catch up on YouTube. Then towards the end, if you haven't finished by the time your access code expires, make sure you add modules before you do, and then there'll be a question going out. Do you want to continue? And basically, I'll keep you on the mailing list so that you can carry on coming to everything else, as well as doing your learning, and just let me know. So that's not a problem. And then in terms of finishing the course, you can claim your credits for each module. Here's a little help topic about getting those credits, where you get a certificate for each one. It's in the Learning Center, and then there is a way to actually print off the certificates, as well as claiming the whole certificate for the whole course as well. And all that information is here, plus other troubleshooting things such as access issues, etc. There is a known problem with the password reset function, and if it's not working for you, then the only way to solve that is either to send an email to info@ihi.org, or phone them up on this number at this sort of time. But they're in Boston, so they're 16 hours behind, so there's a small window for when it's fine to call them. So if you got any further, if you get stuck at all, just email me. I'll point you in the right direction, and I really hope you get the most out of the course. It is, as I say, it can be a light bulb moment for you, like it was for me, and it really can change your whole outlook on delivering healthcare for our patients. So I'm very happy to stay on and take any questions or troubleshoot if people are having problems, but otherwise I hope you have a good Friday afternoon.
Thanks, James.
No problems.
Thanks, bye.
Okay, bye.
Hi, James. My name
Hi.
is Srini.
Hi.
Hi, I got a bit late because my Zoom wasn't working.
That's okay.
I'm not sure whether I missed anything.
So yeah, no, you didn't miss much. I was just telling people my improvement story, and then people went into breakout rooms just to meet each other quickly and discuss why they were here. So the main information giving point, I think you were here for. If you did want to go and look at the recording just to catch the beginning, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, if there's no more questions, then I'm going to end the meeting. Cheerio, everybody.